Do you have a specific experience or moment when you first realized that you definitely wanted to devote the rest of your life to STEM?
I think there hasn't ever been like a light bulb aha moment for me. In that I think and I think that life sort of doesn't happen that way in general. Right? And a lot of times you sort of make a decision and that takes you to a next thing, and then you make another decision and that takes you to the next thing. And it's sort of, so for me it sort of was like always along every decision point that I was making in my life and in my career was driven by, what's the next thing that I'm interested in doing. And I think that gets to your previous question of like, should you pursue it? Yeah, keep going after the thing that's interesting to you. And so it's not really like, it's just every moment was sort of building, and then here I am today, and who knows, maybe I won't keep doing STEM because I also really like baking bread. Maybe I'll stop and make a bakery, who knows, right? But because life just is that way. But for now I'm super happy, and I would never, I don't have any like designs at this moment to stop working in STEM because I do love it so much. But and so there wasn't this aha moment, but I think along the way, I always felt like if I was being driven by what was interesting to me, then that was going to keep making me happy
Yeah.
and making me excited. And so I think along the way, at each of those like sort of small decision points in my life to say, yeah, I want to study chemistry. Okay, I want to go, let's try to do research. Okay, let's go, I like research, let's go do a PhD. Okay, let's go work in industry. All of those decision points were sort of just driven by my interest and my desire to just be happy. And so I think along the way, I just all felt good about it, you know?
No, I get that a lot. And I think that it's really nice that you were always driven by what you wanted to do. Because I think that sometimes people might pursue a job for different reasons. Maybe it's money, maybe their parents want them to. But the fact that you got the choice to pursue something that you really loved and then stick with it and keep continuously choosing to do the things that you liked specifically is really interesting and really important because I think more people need to do that.
When you're young, it's a hard thing to know what you want to do with the rest of your life, right? Like this decision of being like, well, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's almost not the best way to think about it, is sort of say, well, what do you like to do now?
Yeah.
What is the thing that makes you excited now? Okay, go try to do something in that arena, or try to take a class in that and see if you continue to like it. And then you just keep making these decisions based on what you like now. What do you like to do now? What do you like to do now? And it will just evolve. Your interests and your desires are totally going to change and shift. I think when I was little, I thought, oh, I'm going to be a doctor. I like science. So I'm going to go be a medical doctor. And that obviously didn't happen, and that's fine. I'm fine with that, and there's nothing wrong with that shift occurring. It's great, as long as I think you're continuing to do the thing that you're excited about and makes you happy is what is going to be important.
Yeah, that's very true. Did you have a mentor in STEM growing up or maybe someone you looked up to? And if so, when did that mentor enter your life? And would you recommend young girls who are interested in going into STEM to get a mentor?
Yeah, so I think my like very first mentor, and this is kind of like a lame answer, but my very first mentor was my mom. My mom is also a scientist. Both of my parents are, and so I kind of had that uh, vision in my head of being like, oh, well, my mom is a scientist, so I can. That's like a thing that people do, right? Um, and so she had always encouraged, I have two brothers as well, always encouraged all of us to do what we like, and in this sort of way of what makes you interested in, what are you excited about, what's interesting to you, what do you like to do. And then I got to see her do, she's a professor, so that sort of life, and I liked that a lot. There's sort of fun to watch her to do that, and it felt like I don't know, it just sort of was, oh, that's just what it is. And I've had a lot of other mentors too along the way, and they have ranged from people who are in the sciences as a sort of formal mentor, as an advisor to either undergraduate research or in a class, that specific science class that I took, or people who are not at all related to science, right? People who are just kind of in your life and you get advice from them and you look up to them, even if they're not necessarily a scientist. They still have good pieces of advice to give you. And so I think, there's this idea of having like a single mentor or a single person is, you should draw on your connections to people from all over, because you don't really, everybody has all these people have different experiences, and they can provide all different kinds of really cool perspectives that you might not have. And so I think that's really cool and fun. And so I would say, young women should absolutely have mentors and have people that they're interested in, but they should have mentors, plural, all kinds. They should have a village, right? It really does take a lot of different kinds of people in your life to influence you and to give you the kinds of different perspectives that you might need at different points in your life.
Yeah, and I think that not only mentors from maybe different areas within science, for example, in your case, but also different personal relationships with you, like having your mom, but then also having someone you worked with or someone in your PhD program or something, or one of your teachers, they're going to give you such different perspectives. Your mom will give you a perspective as your mother, and your mentor in your science class will give you a perspective as a professor.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're totally right. That's a really good way to put it.